Hello and welcome. In today's video, we are going to be learning about ratios, rates, and best buys. Now there's three different things to go over, so this video is going to be probably a long video, but I hope you get to enjoy some of the cartoons along the way. So I'll try my best to make it short. Let's talk about ratios. I've already made a video about ratios before, quantities and proportions. If you haven't seen that video yet, I'll leave a card for you somewhere up there. And basically, a ratio is a way of showing how two numbers or quantities are related to each other, and they have to be the same unit, same type of unit. So for example, you might compare the heights between two numbers or two objects, for example. Here I've actually got an example of comparing the body height of Mathilda relative to the height of her head. So those are both units of centimeters. So I can show that as a ratio. And with ratios, they're always not shown with any units. And the reason is because a ratio is somewhat similar to a fraction. So we could express her body to head height similarly to a fraction. So 50 centimeters and 20 centimeters. Similar, not exactly the same. But can you see that the numerator and the denominator, they both share centimeters in common. So they actually divide each other and they cancel out. So this cancels out that. And you can also simplify vertically to cancel out those zeros by dividing both top and bottom by 10. If you don't understand how that works, I believe I've made a video before about simplifying fractions before, so I'll leave a card for you up there if you're unsure of what I just did now. We actually show fractions like this. 50 centimeters is to 20 centimeters. Now I just told you that with ratios we don't have units because they cancel out. So let's remove those. Now it looks like a proper ratio. We show ratios with this little sign here. It means is to. So this says 50 is to 20. And you might have to say what that is about. So you might say body and then head, for example, to clarify which way around those numbers go. With ratios, you can actually simplify them as well. Very much like a fraction sign where you divide the top number and the bottom number by the same factor, the fraction still stays true, still stays the same value. So here I can divide both of them by the biggest number I can find. So I can actually divide both of them by, I can divide them both by 2, I can divide them both by 5, actually, you know what, I'll just divide them both by 10, and that gives me my simplest whole number ratio. So her body to head height ratio is 5 to 2, or 5 is to 2. Let's do it really quickly with the other example here. The other turtle next to her is her friend Tallhilda, and she's obviously different shape, so we can express her body proportions differently. So let's go. 70 centimeters is to 20 centimeters for her body and her head. And we simplify by dividing by the highest common factor. So we divide them both by 10, so it leaves us with 7 is to 2. So the ratio for her body and head is very different to the body ratio of Mathilda, the other turtle. You might play online games, for example. You might win some, you might lose some. And here's a little table I just threw together, made up some numbers. We can take this and turn it into a ratio as well. You might have like a win to loss ratio that you use all the time when you play sport or when you play competition. How do I show my win to loss ratio? Well, I'll just take away the word games because those two words are the same unit and they'll cancel out. We take the two numbers, so it's now 24 is to 36, but that's a bit big. We often understand better ratios when they're small numbers as they can be. So let's simplify that by dividing them by the highest common factor we can. I can divide them both by 12. 24 divided by 12, we get 2. 36 divided by 12, I get 3. So the win to loss ratio is 2 to 3. And that's probably what you're seeing a lot of the time when you're doing sports stats or competition analysis. So a rate is somewhat similar to ratios. However, the quantities we're comparing to each other or showing the link between, they're going to be different units. So if we go back to this example, can you see how 24 and 36 were both in the unit of games? Okay, we're comparing two similar items. But if we're comparing dissimilar items, so they're not the same thing, like apples and oranges, or feet per second, okay, then we are talking about a rate. So let's do some examples of doing that, and we can use similar methods we just did in ratios when we're looking at rate. So here I've got a little cat. His name is Geology Cat. Sometimes I call him Construction Cat. And he's broken out into the kitchen and stolen all the cookies. And he's just been eating for 30 minutes. And we found like, look at you, what have you done? And you pick him up and he's like, oh my God, he's just eaten 15 cookies, my God. We can actually calculate the rate at which this cat has been munching down cookies. Let's do this. So the maths is, when you do rates, you often use the slash icon or symbol. So we got 15 cookies per 30 minutes. Now in maths, this means division or it means fraction. So we can show that as 15 cookies per 30 minutes. Now, I said to you that we can simplify it as well. So it's kind of like a fraction, isn't it? So if we divide the numerator and the denominator by the same factor, we still have the same answer, but it just looks neater, it's more simplified. So I can divide the numerator and the denominator by 15. So I've simplified that rate all the way down. Now, you might want to simplify it so that the denominator, which is this portion here, maybe you want to simplify that all the way down to number 1. Okay, that's often the case. For example, we often talk about the rate at which your car is traveling at in kilometers per hour, or if you're from overseas, you might use miles per hour. So if I'm traveling at 50 kilometers per hour, how many hours was that? Well, there's actually a number 1 that's invisible, it's implied. But this happens only in the denominator. So if you make the denominator a number 1, and it has a unit, like hours or seconds or something like that, then that 1 is usually invisible. We can use the same thing here, but we're looking at minutes. So if I divide them both by 2, to make it even simpler, well, I'll get half a cookie per minute. And that's how I show the rate of which the cat has been munching down cookies. Let's look at the other cat here. It's sliding on a skateboard. He's traveled 6 meters of distance in 2 seconds. Let's represent that as a rate. Okay, let's simplify that ratio by dividing it by a common factor. So I can divide this by 2, that gives me 3 meters, and then slash, divide this number by 2, and I get 1 second. Now it's a 1 in the denominator, so that means it's invisible now. So we just write seconds. Okay, so the rate at which he's sliding along is 3 meters per second. Let's work the other way around. So here, Geology Cat has put down his cookies, he's gone off to work, he's put his tool belt on, he's now on the construction site doing a little bit of work for a friend. Now, he's charged his client $400 for 5 hours of work. We can actually use those numbers to calculate the rate at which he's charging the client money. So let's look at what we've got here. We've got 2 units that are different from one another. So we know that's a clue for rate. $400 per 5 hours of work. I can simplify this down by dividing both sides by a common factor. So let's divide them both by 5. 400 divided by 5 gives me $80. 5 divided by 5 is 1, and that 1 has now become invisible because it's part of the denominator. This cat has been charging his client $80 per hour. Now, a best buy is basically the trying to seek out which option is the best value for your money. So, for example, for every $1, I get more value, more product, or more material, or more cookies, for example. So you might be looking for best buys when you are looking for, I don't know, furniture for your house. You might be comparing different brands to see which one you want to buy. You might be comparing building materials, which one you want to go with for different brands. Or you might be even picking, like Mathilda over here. She's going to be throwing a party later this evening, and she's going to buy some chips, lots of chips for her friends, but she doesn't have a lot of money to spend, so she's trying to save whatever she can. Which one should she go with? Should she go with healthy chips, or should she go with Mighty Chips? They're the 2 different brands. Now, the healthy chips option, it comes as a deal for 2. So if you get 2 packets of them, each of them being 100 grams, it costs $15. However, Mighty Chips, you get a little bit more chips, but it's also more expensive. So for 250 grams, it costs her $20 to buy. So which one should she go with? Now, sometimes you can just sort of see it by eye and go, oh, that one feels a little bit better value for money. But other times it's not very clear. And so we need to do a little bit of math to try and figure out the answer. What makes this one so difficult to compare? Well, it's because the quantities aren't similar enough to compare them against each other. For example, if Healthy Chips was also 250 grams, as well as the Mighty Chips, then you could easily go for, okay, well, $15 for 250 grams, that's obviously cheaper for the same amount of chips. But we don't have that. What we have here actually is that for $15, you get 200 grams of chips, or $20 for 250 chips. So what our overall goal here is to either make this and this the same number, or I try and make this and this the same number. Okay, that's our overall goal, because if we can do that, then we can clearly identify which one is the better value for money. So how are we going to go about it? Well, the maths textbook that we work from suggests this method here. So let's try this one out. So first step is that you express the product's value and its cost almost like a rate. So here I got $15 per 200 grams. You could also reverse the order. I've seen it work either way. So as long as you're consistent. So if I put these back to front, then I'll have to do the same thing for the other products. So I have to also flip them back to front. But it does work either way around. You'll still get to the same answer. Now, we know that the word per means a slash. So that means 15 divided by 200 grams, 20 divided by 250 grams. And I think you can see where we're going here now. We're now going to simplify both of those ratios as much as we can. And we're going to simplify them such that we can turn either the money or the value, the quantity, to a single number. So often we're trying to reduce it down to the number 1. So I think we can probably reduce it all the way down to $1. So let's try that strategy. I'm going to do it in a few goes. So 15 divided by, I could divide both of them by 5. Let's try that. Let's go further. Let's divide them both by 3 to make it $1. Now I can't do 40 divided by 3 in my head, so I'm going to do some short division here. So the answer is going to be 13.3 grams recurring. We can round that off to about 13.3 grams. That'll be plenty detail for now. Let's do the same thing for Mighty Chips. I might change my color here to pink. Now what we're looking at is something that we can easily compare, because I've made both of these products. I've reduced the ratio or the rate. I've reduced them so that we both have $1 represents how many grams. So would I rather spend $1 to buy 13.3 grams of chips, or would I rather spend the same money and get less chips? Well, clearly we can say that the healthy chips is the best buy, because not only do you get more chips for your dollars, it's also healthy for you. So that's basically how we do it. But there's another way to solve these best buy problems. So let me show you with a simpler example as well. So here I've got 2 brands. I might color them in for you. So we got 5 kilogram bag of soil for $35 versus a 12 kilogram bag of soil for $60. Let's do the maths. So 5 kilograms of soil for every $35 I spend. So I write this one out as a fraction. That's the way I like to do these ones. And on the other hand, we've got 12 kilogram bags of soil for every $60. So 12 kilograms of soil for every $60. Now we just try and simplify these two fractions and get as simple as we can get. So I'm going to work on the red one first. So let's divide them by the highest common factor. So let's divide them both by 12. So that makes a 1. Divide that by 12 and I get 5. So we're looking at, for every 1 kilogram of soil of the red brand, I get 5. I have to pay $5 for that. For the blue brand, I divide both of them to simplify it. So 5 divided by 5 is 1. 35 divided by 5 is 7. So we're looking at, for every 1 kilogram of soil of the blue brand, I have to spend $7. Which one would I rather pick? If the soil is identical in all other ways, then clearly I would probably go with the red brand because I spend less money for the same amount of soil. So the red brand would be the best buy. Often with these problems here, when you finally calculated which one is the better one to choose, you often have to show which one is the preferred answer. So I would say with a sentence at the very end, the red brand is the best buy. Okay, I hope you've enjoyed this video and thank you very much for watching. I might hopefully catch you in the next video. See you later.